All right, let's dive in. We're starting in a place that should be peaceful, a quiet, closed tea shop. But trust me, this story ends in absolute horror. Welcome to our breakdown of the chilling first chapter of the Queens Village Tea Shop murders. Wow, okay, so there's no easing into this one, is there? The story just throws this at you right from the get-go. It's a cold, hard fact that just lands like a punch to the gut. No warning, no mystery, just brutal, shocking finality. And this is where it gets even more chilling. We learn their names: Amy, Tammy, and Lindsay. It makes them real, you know? And then you see where they were found: a dumpster behind a local tea shop. The method? Incredibly violent. Throats cut ear to ear. But that last point, signs of extensive torture. That's what really tells you something. This wasn't a quick, random act. This was something else entirely. It was cruel, it was personal, and it was deeply calculated.
So you have to ask yourself, right? How on earth did it get to this point? To even begin to understand what happened, the story does something smart. It hits rewind, taking us back just a few hours before the bodies were found. We're going inside that tea shop for one final fateful encounter.
Okay, so let's meet the two key players here. First up, you've got Detective Roman Trexler, 45 years old, ex-Marine, and he lives by one simple rule: no strings, no promises. It's his way of managing the chaos of his life. And then there's Amy Norton. She's 25, a waitress, and she seems to be the one person who gets it. She's not just okay with his rules, she kind of thrives on them. And this quote, this one quote, tells you everything about their dynamic. You see, when she says this, she's not being submissive at all. It's actually really playful, almost a challenge. She's reading him, she sees right through him, and she meets his intensity head on. It just paints this picture of a really raw, powerful connection that's way more than just a casual thing. You have to understand, for Roman, relationships are basically a system. He's got this foolproof exit strategy all worked out to keep control and avoid any messy emotional stuff. But Amy, she completely short-circuits that system because she doesn't just accept it, she embraces it. She doesn't back down, she asks for more. So in his mind, she's perfect. She's a clean break because she plays by the rules he sets, which, ironically, makes him feel safe. But here's the thing, even with Amy, who seems so perfect for his system, the rules are the rules, no exceptions. So when she asks him to stay, and it's just a simple question, right? But it hints at something deeper, he just shuts it down immediately. With a lie. That early briefing, it's not just an excuse, it's his armor. It's how he keeps that wall up and stays in control. Okay, now look at this timeline. This is just terrifying. At 7 minutes past midnight, Roman leaves. Everything seems fine. But look, just 1 minute later, that back door opens. That massive gap of time between 12:08 a.m. and sunrise, that's where the unimaginable horror happens. It's pure dramatic irony, and it's absolutely gut-wrenching to think about. And this, for me, is the most haunting detail of all. Roman, the detective, the guy who's trained to see things, to protect people. He's right there, probably just feet away, and he has no idea. He's completely oblivious as this horrific attack begins. He's so close, yet totally unaware of the nightmare that's about to unfold for Amy and her friends. All right, so now we snap back to the present day. The investigation is underway, and the focus shifts. It's no longer about the victim's final moments, but about the crime scene itself. They're looking for clues, for the killer's signature, right there in the cruelty left behind. And what they find? Well, it paints a truly terrifying picture. This was no crime of passion, not a chance. The person who did this was methodical. They took their time. The burns, the bruises, it's just brutal. And that last detail, the fingernails being torn away, that's calculated. That's about inflicting the maximum amount of pain and terror possible. I mean, this is the work of a genuine sadist. So this just begs a question, right? We're in Queens Village, a place that's been described as dead quiet for 30 years. So who, in a place like this, is capable of such a depraved, monstrous act? Where does a killer like this even come from? Well, as the forensics team does its work, the clues start to add up. The puzzle pieces begin to fit together. And all of this shocking evidence, it starts pointing in one single, undeniable direction. It's all pointing to one man, And this is the twist that just completely flips the script. The one man the evidence points to, it's Roman Trexler, the detective, the last person to see Amy alive. He is now the #1 suspect because his DNA, his physical signature, was found inside every single one of them. It links him directly and undeniably to this absolute horror.
So that leaves us, and you, with this massive question hanging in the air. Is Detective Roman Trexler the victim of an incredibly elaborate and sinister frame-up? Or has he been hiding a monster behind that badge this whole time? Is he a decorated detective, or is he a depraved killer? And that's where the chapter leaves us.